Hi, my name is Ella, and I am from the Laurel branch, which is also known as the Dinosaur branch. Got one of our friends right there. And today I'm going to be showing you how I made two of my favorite origami shapes. So origami is the art of paper folding, and it can be as easy or as complex as you want it to be. You can have something like this, which is just a few folds. This is sort of difficult, but not super difficult origami, or you can get super fancy and have some that have more complex folds. And these are all books that you can check out at the library. You can see that this one is like kind of extreme. So I'm gonna be doing something sort of in the middle, I would say intermediate. So not easy, definitely more than a few folds, but not super advanced where you need a bunch of techniques. And they actually have the same base, so they should be pretty easy to follow along with. But before I get started, we're going to talk about what you are going to need today. So the first thing you are going to need if you are making your own paper squares is a pair of scissors. They do not have to be that big. Those are the only scissors I have. And then they do make specific origami paper, but I don't personally use it just because I like to use recycled paper. Standard origami paper is about 3 inches by 3 inches in a square, but you can also get it 6 inches by 6 inches. And when we fold our printer paper, it's going to be about 8 inches by 8 inches. Here is some wrapping paper that I'm going to be cutting some squares out of. I have some already pre-made that I've cut out of holiday paper that I had lying around. I've also used, this was a paper bag that my groceries came in, so I like to keep those too. And as you can see, there's a lot of different designs that I have to work with. Now, if you are lucky, you'll get some wrapping paper that already has the inches marked on the back. So origami paper kind of standard size is going to be 3 squares by 3 squares, so that makes it really easy to cut out. So I have some fun party llamas. I have some Mickey, which also has the squares on the back, and then you can also find wrapping paper that has a different design on the back. And when you're folding, normally you're going to start folding with the design you want on the outside on the inside, so you'll fold this way, but it really depends on the design that you're using. And then last but not least, I just have some kind of standard printer paper so I can show you how to cut out your own origami paper if you wanted it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to clean off my workstation here. So like I said, I'm going to be making 2 origami shapes and showing you how to do them. The first is actually the kind of traditional paper crane. And I learned how to fold these in 3rd grade. My teacher had read a story about folding a little girl that folded 1,000 paper cranes, and I was really inspired, so I started folding them. And they are kind of a traditional paper folding. They're said to bring good luck and fortune, and if you fold 1,000 of them, you're supposed to either get a wish or live, I don't want to say forever, but it's supposed to live a long, healthy life. So I really enjoyed folding these. I've actually folded 1,000 before. It took me a little over a year, but they're kind of, once you know how to do them, they're very relaxing to make. And then my other favorite fold is actually the dinosaur. So this is a little origami dinosaur. He does stand on his own, even though mine has kind of wide legs, but I'm going to show you how to make one of these as well. And they're very fun to make. And they actually use a lot of the same folds, so once you kind of get the basics down, you're good to go. And those 2 were in the 8x8 because I used the printer paper, but for the wrapping paper they end up being more of the standard, which is the 3 inches by 3 inches, so they're a little bit smaller. What you can do is I use Post-it note pad, and you can trace it. So you would just trace along here and along here. I actually don't have a pencil, so what I'm going to do is just fold it to mark where the cuts will be. And your paper will be about that size. You can also use a ruler if you would like. I rarely do. Alright, so that's going to be our paper. If you're just starting out, I probably wouldn't advise using paper this bright. For me personally, it's very distracting, especially with the 2 patterns, but if you're feeling confident, I say go for it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is cut our paper. So if you have printer paper, what you're going to do is take the corner and fold it down to make a triangle. You're going to line up the edge. A little bit more, there we go. And I found it easier to hold the edge that's down and drag my finger this way so I know I'm getting the middle. And then from here, you're going to just crease the paper. Now you have two options after this. You can just cut it, which is probably the safest option. But if you're feeling adventurous, what you can do is flip it over and fold that edge up. And you're going to really push this crease in with your fingernail. Because then what you're going to do is flip it back over and you can tear it. And this is a good technique for if you don't have scissors around. And then you can either recycle this piece, or actually what I like to do, it does make really small designs, but you can just repeat the process. And again, you can either cut it here, or I like to live dangerously and just rip it. And you can just do that all the way down. As you can see, some of the cons of this method are sometimes you rip it a little bit too much, but again, if you don't have scissors, that's probably a good way to go. So I'm going to start out with the dinosaur, and I'm going to use our printer paper that we already folded previously. So this is actually how you start it. You fold it over into a triangle. You're going to open it up again, and you're going to fold it into a triangle in the opposite way. And again, I like to follow the crease in the middle and then push down. So when you open it up, you should have an X in the middle of the paper. So now what you're going to do is flip it over, and I like to push the middle down so that it folds the correct way. And you're going to make a downward fold, or a hamburger fold as it is also known in the non-origami world. And you're going to open that back up again. And so you can either rotate it and fold it into another hamburger, or you can fold it as a hot dog. In the middle, and crease it down, and crease it down again. Awesome. So you're going to open that back up. So now you can see the X's that we made, and now we have a cross. So you're actually going to pop it a little. You can see how it kind of goes down. And what we're going to do is flip it over. We're going to pop it, and then we're going to pinch the sides and push them in. You can see how it's making kind of arms. So you may have to just gently push on the creases to get them to go down. And then you're going to take two to the left and two to the right. And you're going to reinforce those creases. So down, down again. And I like to do the middle one as well. Awesome. So now you should have a diamond shape from the top. This is what it looks like. And so from here, you're going to make a kite pattern. So you're going to pick up one of the sides, make sure to leave one down. And you're going to take this edge and fold it along the middle. You're going to push that crease down. Awesome. You're going to do the same with the other side. You're going to take just one kind of layer of paper, pull it to the middle, and push down. And see at the bottom, I don't know if you can see, when I push down, it's not quite all the way, so you can take the top and pull it up, and that will straighten it out. So now we kind of have these two on the inside. So we're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing. Take the edge and line it up on the middle. I'm going to take the other edge, line it up on the middle. Same thing. You're going to pull it up just a bit more. And reinforce that crease. So now you should have what kind of looks like a kite. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this top triangle and we're going to fold it back and forth. So we're going to fold it towards us, push down on that crease. You're going to bring it back up. We're going to flip it over and we're going to push it towards us again. We're going to open it up. So now we have creases along the middle on both sides. So now it doesn't matter what side you start with, you're going to open up the arms again, back to the original shape, and you're going to take just the top flap. So you on the inside should still have these parts and then the bottom layer. You're going to take just the top flap and you're going to push your thumb in until you find that crease we just made. So right there, that's that line where we just made it. And you're going to push all this out, push it all out. It should kind of make a mouth shape. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the edge and you're going to push it down so that the sides come in. And then you're going to hold it down and you're going to crease along those lines. We got 1, 2, 3, and then we got 4. So now you have kind of this super diamond shape. So you're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to pick this top edge up. You'll still have the two bottom edges. You're going to run your thumb inside until you find that crease that you made right here. You're going to just push it out until you make this mouth shape. I like to hold down the edge down here and then pull it up. And you're just going to crease it along those edges. As you can see, I've already ripped my paper. It happens. Life goes on. If you'd like, what you can do is take your scissors and just kind of trim it off, which I like to do. Makes me feel better. And the design won't look too different at the end. So now you have these two triangles. The top one is 2 layers, and the bottom one kind of looks like legs. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the top, you're going to fold it down, and then you are going to rotate it. So now this kind of triangle part should be over here. So what you're going to do is flip it over, and this fold right here, you're going to fold it along this middle crease, but not all the way. So you're going to fold it right along that line, and you're going to push down halfway. So you're going to stop right here, and then rotate it. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to fold it along that middle line, but only crease it halfway. So now you should see you've kind of got this triangle shape. You can pinch these two together and you can see the triangle inside. So I'm going to rotate it this way because for me that's easiest. You hold it however you like. But what you're going to do is you're going to pinch these sides together, all right, to reinforce that crease. And then you're going to take these two halves and you're going to fold them down. You can see I'm folding it down that way. And you can see the crease that we just made should pop up. You very gently pinch it to reinforce it. And I like, when I'm creasing, I like to pinch it and kind of shimmy my fingers up the crease. shimmied up the crease. What you can also do though is push it against the table. Use your fingernail or the tip of your finger and just push it down. Make sure not to get a paper cut this way though. Alright, so now we've got this kind of weird shark shape. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the top of this and you're going to fold it down towards you. So it should be parallel, almost parallel to the bottom triangle. You're going to lift it up and you're going to fold along that same line the other way. And if it's easier for you, what you can do is when you pick it up, you can flip it over so you can see where you're folding. All right, so we still have the shark shape. Fold it towards us, fold it away. And this is actually, so when you fold it towards you, it's called a valley fold. When you fold it away, it's called a mountain fold. Fun fact. So then you're going to put it straight up. And what you're going to do is you're going to stick your finger right in here. And you're going to push down with your thumb. You're going to hold the triangle in shape. You're going to smooth your finger up so that it collapses. And you may have to let go of the sides. So I like to hold the sides really tightly when I'm folding, but you may have to get a little loose with it. There we go. So now you can see our head, and I'm going to do that one more time. So this is the fin shape that we made. I'm going to push my finger in, and I'm going to pull it down. I'm just going to pinch it closed. So you're going to do the same thing with the end. You're going to fold it towards you. You're going to fold it away from you, and you're going to fold it flat. And then you're going to hold it here, open it up with your thumb, and push it inside. Push it all the way inside, and then you're going to pinch this shut. So now our dinosaur has a face. Now these are the arms, so you're going to use your thumb, and you're going to open it up, and you're going to use your pointer finger, and you're going to push it down. And with your other fingers, you're going to pinch it closed. And so sometimes it'll turn out like this, where it looks like he doesn't have arms. You can just grab the point and pull it to the angle you want. So if you want his arms like really high up, you pull it up here. If you want them like kind of down, you can put it down here. Wherever you want the arms to be, just make sure to hold it there while you pinch so it stays there. All right, so we are almost done. So now we have these three kind of tails, but we only need one tail. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the topmost flap and fold it towards you down. And again, you're going to make a parallel line. You're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing. So now you should have two legs and one tail still. And then with the feet, you're going to fold them in and back, which looks silly, I know. I'm going to flip it over and do it the same way on the other side, in and back. And line them up when you pinch so that they're even. And then you're going to take them and push them out away from you. And push them down again. So what that looks like is you can take the end, you're going to hold it like this. I like to hold the knee and twist it, line them up, and then you're just going to pinch it. And there you go. We have a handsome dinosaur that can stand up on his own. He doesn't like to. And that's all there is to it. So we're going to do the dinosaur again, because repetition and practice are important. but I'm going to use a smaller piece of paper so I can show you kind of the cons, if you will, of using wrapping paper, because there are some. It turns out pretty, but it's also very stressful sometimes. So what you're going to do is we're going to start with that X, but we're going to start with the design on the inside. We're going to tuck the llamas away. You can hear that squeaking sound. Just super unpleasant. I'm going to open it up, fold it the other way, squeak it out. So now we have our cross, or our X, flip it over, hamburger, hot dog, and then you're going to take the ends and pinch them in. Makes this shape again. Grab two to the left, grab two to the right. We've got our diamond. And we're going to take the arms and fold them in again. Such a weird sound. So obviously the cons with this are that it makes an awful squeaking sound. But it's also very shiny, which might not be what you want. Also, as cool as these party llamas are, maybe you don't want your dinosaur to have party llama faces on it. But it's good for recycling paper. So we're going to make that kite shape again. I'm going to fold the ends in for the center. The other thing sometimes with the paper is it's difficult to see the lines. So, as you can see, I can't really see the middle line. I have to kind of shimmy it around to see it. It's also much smaller if you're working with a 3x3. All right, so we're going to take the top, fold it down, pick it up again, flip it over, fold it towards us, up one more time, we're going to open up our arms, and then we're going to make that mouth shape again. So we're going to pick up the top layer, hold the point down, find the crease we just made, and tuck it in. I've also found that when you use wrapping paper or holiday paper, it rips a little bit more easily, so you have to be gentle with it, which I never am. All right, so we've got that mouth shape. We're gonna flip it over. See what I mean? You can't really see the colors as well. There we go. All right. Pick up the ends, find the crease we made, and push it down. See, ripped it. It'll be all right. So I'm gonna cut off that end right there. It's not bothering me, but I don't want it. With practice, you won't have ends like that, in theory. So now, remember, we're gonna fold down the first part, keep the arrow, we're going to flip it over, we're going to crease along that middle, but only halfway. Crease, 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 but only to the halfway, flip it over, crease, crease, but only to the halfway. And then when we open it up, we've got our triangle, but we're going to hold it like this. We're going to push these down, and you might need to put your finger in the bottom to push it up. There we go. Our tiny shark fin. So if you remember what we did last time, we're going to take the tip and fold it parallel. Open it up, fold it away from us, parallel again. Open it one more time, and we're going to push this down. At the same time, pop this part in. And we're going to close it. So again, I've got some paper that's hanging out. I'm going to cut it off. If you're just beginning, don't be ashamed to cut the paper off. Unless you accidentally cut off the part that was holding the fold. I guess he's gonna have a face just like that. I'm gonna fold it over the end. It's alright to make mistakes. I have definitely folded a lot of dinosaurs, but the cranes are really what I've spent a lot of time with, so, you know, accidents happen. If you look at it that way, he's fine. Alright, well I'm gonna move on to his arms. Little teeny bitty arms. He's got 3 tails, we only want 1. So we're gonna fold that down. Oh, look, a llama. On the other side, we're gonna fold it down again. We're gonna go in and back. Flip it over. In and back. Some weird looking legs, and then we're going to fold the feet out. So wrapping paper doesn't always stay the way other paper does. I don't know why. Alright, so he's got one good looking side and one not so good looking side, but that's fine. It is what it is. I didn't learn my lessons, so I'm going to cut that piece off. As long as you're aware of the dangers of cutting off paper, you'll be fine. There we go. As long as he is seen from this, his good side, he'll be okay. But that's it. That's how you make a paper dinosaur. Very exciting. Alright, and the second thing we're going to make today is a paper crane. So I've already got my paper started, already cut it out. So if you remember, we've got one part of the X, I'm going to fold end to end, go along that crease. I like to go down first, and then up, open it up. You've got a beautiful X, flip it over, hamburger time. Hot dog time. Now these steps are pretty much the same in the beginning. So I'm going a little bit quickly, but that's because we just did this twice. I'm going to open it up, fold it down. We're going to take the ends. I'm going to pinch and push inside. So it makes that 4 side again. We're going to take 2 to the left, 2 to the right again. This looks familiar. I'm going to push down those creases. Don't forget the middle one. Awesome. So now we're going to make a kite again. I'm going to take the ends. Push down that crease, take the end again. Crease it down. Alright, we've got 1/2 of our kite. I'm going to flip it over, do the other half. I'm going to take the end, fold it in. Take the other end, fold it in. And this is going to be the same as the dinosaur. Remember what to do with this part? We are going to fold it towards us and push it down. We're going to fold it away from us, push it down, and we're going to open it. We're going to open the sides as well. All right, now we're going to make that weird mouth shape again. So I'm going to put it on the table so it's easier to hold. I'm going to pick up just the first layer. I'm going to hold this part down with my finger. I'm going to find the crease we just made. And I'm going to push it down. So it makes that diamond shape again. I'm going to flip it over and do the same exact thing. Lift the top layer, hold down the bottom layer, find the crease, and kind of just pop along the lines. So sometimes it'll get stuck like that. You can just push your finger in there, gently encourage it to move the way you want it to move. Reinforce the creases. Alright, so this shape should look familiar. So we've got the top parts that are solid and kind of the two leg pieces. And normally with the dinosaur we would close it up and do this, but we're not going to do that. What you're going to do is you're actually going to take your finger and push these sides apart. You're going to use your thumb to take this first kind of leg and pull it up. So you're going to pull it up into here. So what that looks like on this side. So we're going to push this open, take your thumb and pull it up. So it should look like this. And I like to pinch the sides and push them together. So it should look like this before you fold it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pointer finger and your thumb. You're going to hold all these together. And this is going to be the head. So wherever you want the head to be, if you want it to be kind of down, if you want it to be really high up, wherever you pinch is going to be where the head is, so choose wisely. So I'm going to have it pretty high up. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to pinch this bottom part. So this is what it should look like. And that part is just kind of in there. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to open it up with our finger, right in kind of the middle of the triangle. With our thumb, we're going to pull it up. You might have to kind of like gently encourage it. I'm going to use my finger to push it in. And I'm going to pinch the bottom closed. I'm just going to shimmy up the wings. There we go. So this is what it should look like, relatively. You can see that I didn't fold it evenly on the bottom, so that's why it looks like that. That is my mistake. So now you're going to take your finger and push it in, and use your other finger to make a triangle. So right there, and so this is going to be the head. So wherever you want the head to be, is where you're going to put it. So if you want it looking up, you're going to pinch right here. If you want it down, pinch here. I like to hold it, position the head, and then pinch. The tail part's going to stay up, so we're going to leave that as is. But we're going to take the wings and take one wing, fold it down. I'm going to flip it over, take the other wing, and match it up and fold it down. And then you can let go, and you can see the wings, you can push them up. And there you go. That is our crane. What you can also do is you can stick your finger in these creases so that it stands up on its own. So that's one crease, it's another crease. Kind of makes this shape at the bottom. Ta-da! Beautiful. So now I'm going to show you how to make it a little smaller and a little faster. Alright, for the tiny paper crane, I'm going to be using some of this just plain brown paper. So we're going to start with our triangle. And so as you can see, paper doesn't quite line up. And that happens if you're not measuring paper when you're cutting it. I normally don't. But you can make it a square by cutting off the extra. I'm going to flip it over to check. You can see how the end isn't quite a triangle. Just cut that off too. Fold it into the other triangle to check that angle. Alright, this one's a little off too. When I recycle paper, I'm usually cutting it into the general shape really quickly and don't measure it, and that's why this happens. But if you're measuring your paper, you shouldn't have this issue. Alright, so I'm going to open it up. You can see we've got our X. Flip it over. We're going to hamburger it. We're going to open it and hot dog it. Open it so you can see all our creases. We're going to flip it over, pinch the ends, push them in, and make that diamond shape. And now it is kite time. And we are flying through this. The kite joke. Flip it over, do the other side. There we go. Take the top, fold it towards us and up. Fold it towards us after we flip it and up. Then unfold all our creases. We're going to do the mouth shape again. It might be easier to do one side and then the other side. If you find that easier, by all means go for it. It depends on the paper. Sometimes the paper makes it easy to do one side and then the other side. Sometimes the paper is like, no, do both sides at once. So I'm going to push this down to hold it down, because the one side was really easy. And the other side is putting up a fight. As you can see, I'm not an expert. I just really enjoy doing this. Alright, so we've got, again, the points at the top, our weird legs. We're going to open this up, pull this up, and pinch it. You may have to readjust. I'm going to push this down and pinch it. Kind of like the arms for the dinosaur. Same thing, we're going to open it, pull it up, pinch it. And for the wings, pull them down, pinch, flip it over, pull it down, pinch, and we're done. Looks pretty nice. So hopefully you had a good time today. I know that I did. Those are my two favorite folds, and I've been trying to learn more as we're still at home. The library has a ton of origami books, ranging from really difficult to really easy. So wherever you are in your kind of origami journey, there is an origami book for you. There's tons of different designs and things that you can do. So definitely check out our catalog to see what we have. The other thing that you can do is check online. My dinosaurs won't stay up. There we go. You can check online. We have a database called CreativeBug, and there are a bunch of different videos. So if you are like me and you check out a book and you're like, I can't follow this, what you can do is go online and check out CreativeBug, and that way you can follow along like you did today. And CreativeBug, I have seen, has a fun little origami tutorial about space. So if you're into space, and now into origami, definitely check it out. If you decide to try to make any of this origami or make your own designs, make sure to tag us on social media if you'd like and are able. We are on all the big ones: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our handle for all of them is at PGCMLS. And if you're interested in more programs, make sure to check out our website, pgcmls.info, for more information. And that is it. I hope you had a great day. Like I said, I did too. And we will catch you next time.